Hey everyone, it's Holmes from Home Storybooks, and today I'm here to review Sing Unburied Sing by Jesmyn Ward. I read this book during the Dewey's 24-hour readathon. I had some kind of weird viral thing that I was trying to get over, but I made tea, buckled down, refused to go to bed, and read like 200 pages of this book in one sitting. This book is modern Southern American Gothic at its best. This is the kind of world that makes fools of the living, saints of them once they dead, and devils them throughout. Sing Unburied Sing is told through multiple perspectives. Jojo, a 13-year-old boy whose father is coming home from prison, Leonie, his mother who struggles with substance abuse, and other voices in the story. Ward gives Leonie her own voice. It gives such an authenticity to the experience of a drug addict, the true self-centeredness, the matter-of-fact way she ignores so many other important aspects in her life. We can see how that cripples her and how she's totally aware of it, but refuses to look it in the eyes. Jojo, on the other hand, confronts it every day when he has to take care of his little sister in his mother's absence. When summarized, this book can sound hard, but there's moments of vulnerability, of love, of compassion, so that it doesn't feel like it's an effort to read. Her dialogue is so good because it's so simple. She hangs truths in the air and doesn't touch them after that. This book is definitely classed as literary, but it's accessible. The words literary and literature have such a connotation of intellectualism, of highbrow, of exclusivity. But in Ward's case, she has such a command of language that she doesn't need flowery descriptive terms to describe a scene. That's not to say that she neglects her setting at all. While reading, I felt the stifling heat, the rush of the thick forest, creep of a neglected, empty porch. I did feel a slight change in tone once the ghost characters became more prominent, but I like magical realism a lot, so it didn't bother me much at all. I didn't like the change in tone so much, but it did grow on me as time went on, so it was just a matter of adjusting to the flow of the story. What I loved most about this book, and what I love about a lot of African American literature, is that it ties the past, the present, and the future together so seamlessly, and lets all of the colors run. Black, red, blue, all bleed back into the earth. It's interesting because I'm currently reading Up From Slavery by Booker T. Washington, who talks of this same rich soil and how the formerly enslaved South only knew how to grow cotton there. He starts a school for African American people, starts a garden, among many other seriously valuable things, and that's another video for another time. And he talks about how fertile the earth is, just like the minds of his students and their opportunities. So it was interesting to hear Ward talk about it too, but in a different way. A soil so fertile, anything could grow from it, whether it be poisonous or not. The motif of touch in this novel is fascinating, recurring, and sometimes heartbreaking. Fascinating because you have a character like Leonie, who desperately wants to touch the ghost of her brother Gibbon, sitting right in front of her, but refuses to acknowledge that her children need to be touched in the same tender way. Leonie wants physical touch and intimacy from her children, and yet looks past her children and instead chooses to remember when they were younger, when they were in the womb, in order to access that maternal relationship. Sometimes the world don't give you what you need, no matter how hard you look. Sometimes it withholds. The ending is cathartic, sometimes imperfect, and although I don't like all the aspects of it, it had this lovely moment where it felt like Ward let go of the story. Good endings don't feel forced or over-engineered, but as though the ending written is the only way it could have ended. Sing Unburied Sing is what happens when Ward decides to tell you a story. Knowing the end will hurt, knowing perhaps you won't be ready for it, but knowing you'll need to hear it anyway, because it will heal the person the story was written for. Redemption can be an ugly thing. While we heal, we still feel pain. We can't pick our pasts, and sometimes we can't even pick our legacies, but let's hope there's love in between. That's it, that's all for this review, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye everyone!